Hey guys, welcome to our Journal Entry podcast. We're so excited that you're here with us today. This podcast is where we give people a place to be vulnerable and share their hearts and testimonies of God's goodness with others. We're your hosts, Giselle and Emily. We hope you guys enjoy. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of our Journal Entry podcast.
We are back. A long-awaited week's break from yours truly. Your two favorite podcasts.
We know that you guys missed us.
We're not conceited. It's fine.
Anyway,
so now that we are back, we are ready to rock and roll.
Yes, and today
a very special guest.
And this
We
time
say
it's
that every
actually
week.
a very special guest.
Even though we actually say that
Every time.
Literally every time.
But this time,
and then she
going to
says
prove
that
it.
every time too.
true.
this time it's actually a very special guest. Ladies and gentlemen,
Drum roll, please. Alicia!
Hey!
our fearless worship leader.
Whoop, whoop.
I'm glad to be here.
Hello, Alicia.
We're glad to have you. Thanks for being on. That sounds weird. I feel like that's what podcast people say. Thanks for being on.
Thanks for being on.
You're live on the air. Sorry.
I always wanted to be on the radio. This is close
man.
enough. This works.
Yeah.
It's a lot better, honestly.
Yeah.
It's
Especially
a lot more
since,
fun.
You know, we're on it.
Also true.
That's very true. Very true. Yeah.
All right, Alicia, you want to start by telling us just a little bit about yourself. So Alicia leads worship at our church, and she's an incredible singer, an incredible musician, and just all around a giant sweetheart. We love hanging out with her.
Yes.
But you want to just share just a little bit about yourself so people can get to know you.
Well, I just started at Revive, worship leader, a few weeks ago. So, which is a dream come true. I've been waiting to do it full time. I've been kind of in the background for a few years, but it's like a good thing, you know, like it builds you up.
Yeah.
And it trains you, you know, it's like working out and getting to that point. It's like, sweet. So it's been a crazy few months though, because I filled in for a while as well. So it's just been a little crazy, but I'm very glad to be at Revive. Like I remember the moment I stepped in for the first time a few years ago. I was like, I'm going to be here. This is my home church.
That's awesome.
And I was just waiting on the Lord to kind of just go, okay, I'll give you the opportunity when it's ready. So
That's a goal.
yeah.
We're happy to have you.
Yeah.
It's like a huge blessing. Like it's been really cool. So I lived in Wisconsin for like 12 years before I moved to Florida in 99. Yeah. I was 14 when we moved here.
Cool.
So moved here and moved in with my dad and his girlfriend at the time, now my stepmom. So, yeah. So
Very
I've been
cool.
living in Florida for 22 years now.
Awesome.
Yeah, 22 years.
Do you like it better here?
Yes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind like snow for a few days
Yeah.
and then, just
I
go
feel
ice
that.
fishing or
Right.
snowmobiling, but then like I was thought about moving back. I was like, I'm just gonna go to Wisconsin for a year, and I'm just like, wait, you'd take an hour just to get your snow pants and your boots, and you gotta wear like,
Right.
like I'm like, no, I just want to roll out of bed and put my flip flops on.
Yeah.
The true Floridian way.
The Floridian way.
Yes.
Is the place for that.
Because I was like, how did I get up? And when I was younger, like, how did I get up and just like make time to actually get dressed? Like, I just don't. It doesn't comprehend anymore.
Now it's like
Yeah.
I need to just get out of bed with enough time to put mascara on and put on my shoes.
Yep.
And then I'll just be outside.
Yep.
It's
Exactly.
fine.
Exactly. So.
That's funny. Well, awesome.
All right. Well, let's get into it, Alicia.
Here we
Get into
go.
it.
The long awaited.
What is on your heart?
Well, I've been going back and forth about what I'm going to talk about a little bit. So, but just kind of do. I can't really ever talk right. So
That's okay. Neither can we. And
But we
here.
have a podcast.
So, we laugh 90% of the time. So When in doubt, just giggle.
Laughter is so good for you.
The people love it.
Hey, I when I watch it, I laugh and it makes me feel good. So like I was saying, like it
yeah.
does. Like I'm just like, oh, I just love, and I love. Oh my gosh, your laughs are just so good. And I get that all, like, I want to record your laugh and use this as my text message and that thing. And I'm like,
Do it.
no, you don't. Like, don't use mine. I'll use somebody else's. So I feel like
So
we're like a trio of laughter.
I love it.
I have different. Do you have like? Okay, sorry, this is like totally off topic. Do you have like different like laughs? Like I have like this,
Yes.
like that one,
Yeah.
and then when I get goofy, it's like, like I don't know, like.
And when I'm laughing really hard at something and I can't breathe, I'm literally like snorting. I'm like,
Yeah, I snore, I cackle. Okay, sorry. Back to what we're really here for. I love laughter. I have when was this? I think about November, December. I started. I was talking about creating a new Instagram account, a separate one. It's called Curly Curvy Christian, and a few months. Oh, maybe it's been a few months back. I think it was last fall. I used to follow a lot of plus size models and stuff like that for inspiration, but a lot of them weren't Christian, and it was really hard because I was just like, or they just like flaunted their stuff, and I'm like, I can't relate. Like, I don't want to dress like that.
right.
Or they were totally just rude about politics, and I didn't want that in my life, and I was just
Yeah.
like, Lord, where are all the Christian plus size models? Like, you know, and that I'll get to some more details about that, and then I just heard him say, well, why don't you just do it? And I was like, really? Like no. And I thought about it. I was like, well, okay, I could try, you know, and it's a lot to, you know, it's like thinking about, oh man, I'm gonna put myself like on a camera all the time. Like,
Right.
you know, and so I just, I was like, but I want a purpose for it. Like, I don't want to just be like all about me. I don't want it to be about me. I want to influence other women, no matter what size they are, like just to be confident in yourself because we're created by an awesome God,
Yeah.
you know?
Right.
And I remember, I don't know if it was the first episode or second one. I think you were talking about the self-love thing. And I was listening and going, yeah, okay, this is cool. Like, I understand. Yeah. And I think self-love is great, but to a point. Like, there's a lot of
yeah.
super self-love and it's very too selfish. It's all about me. And I didn't want that. I didn't want to have that kind of, you know, I want to have self-love, but in the right way.
Yeah.
And God gave me this really cool hashtag. It's called, it says, now I can't remember. Love God, respect yourself. So like putting your love in the right direction.
Right.
And that allows you to respect yourself and to honor him.
Yeah.
And I think that's how we can love ourselves better. So
Yeah.
yeah, Curly Curvy Christian, love God, respect yourself kind of came to fruition.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
cool.
And so my goal is to just inspire, you know, whatever. And just
Yeah.
it's multiple things. It's like, you know, it's makeup, it's skincare, it's clothing, but it's mostly just I really wanted to be vulnerable to let other Christian women or men, whatever, to know, like, this is, like, be real. Like, I really want us to love ourselves for who we are.
Yeah.
But I'm also trying to honor my body and to treat it as a temple, try to eat better,
Yeah.
you know, and be active and stuff like that at the same time, but not trying to like beat myself up over
Yeah.
it.
Right.
Because it can be a dangerous road. And I think I'm also still scared, like, what if, you know, like, what if I turn into this active junkie? Like, I'm scared of that. Cause like, I don't know if like, is that me? Like, you know, so there's a whole bunch of, you know, reasons that, anyway. So, yeah, so I really kind of just talk about, I'm trying to think of some stories. I posted something, this is a few months ago. I was doing my interim. So it was like January, February, and we were having a pool party for the worship team. And I have not been out in a bathing suit in a while, like in public. Like, it was nerve-wracking for me. And I was like, I'm just going to do it. I just bought a really cute new bathing suit, and I was like, I really want to wear it, but like, I don't just, like for me, it's scary. And I know it's scary for anybody, any size, but I was just like, I haven't been out. I'm super white. I mean, like pale, like I
Girl, you and me both like glow in these lights.
And I was like, I'm going to do it. And I did. And like, it was fine. We had so much fun that day. Like, and sometimes people stare or whatever, like if you got some kind of flaw, but I was just, it felt good just to do it. And I'm with people. The cool thing is, I think when you have like if you're very self-conscious about the way you look, being with people who actually care about you for who you are, it doesn't matter. Like, and especially if you're in the body of believers, like who are honest and really like just loving people. Yeah. Like nobody had said anything. And the closer friends I had said something, like I'm really kind of nervous. And they're like, who cares? Like, we're here to have fun, you know? And the scary thing is that I felt selfish because I'm always thinking about like, what are they going to say about me? Blah, blah, blah. Like, don't think about that. Like, we're here to have fun. Like, and I think I'd mentioned something like, I want to live my life and have fun. I only have one life. I know this YOLO is so.
Hashtag YOLO. Hashtag for this episode YOLO, please. Thank you. Just kidding. Please don't do that.
But
do it if you want to. Sorry.
It's true though. Like, and I'm like, I don't want to live it hiding and being scared.
Yeah, right.
And so I posted this video and I was like bawling halfway through. And I was just like, that's so that's just always been I've always been so scared, of just doing fun things because of how I feel I look. And so, and then we went to the Springs. A few of us went to the Springs about 2 months ago, maybe. And that was more like in a public setting. And so it was even more like, scary for me. And I went down the spring one time and then I kind of I reclused a little bit, but I was still out. Like I still like wore my shorts. I was out in the sun, but like so I've been trying to be very vulnerable about how I feel and like, so there's been some really cool, like stepping out moments. Yeah. And I feel like I'm really kind of it's hard to figure out like what God really wants me to say because of it. I think I really want people to know that, just to be bold. That's something that I think I've lived by that. Just that statement, like be bold, like it's just be brave, just do things, like have fun and be with the people that you love. And, so that's kind of,
That's cool. That's really I'm actually really glad that you brought that up and that you like decided that you wanted to share about that. 'Cause it's actually something that like, I've been like thinking about in my head a lot. And like this past weekend we went on a retreat with all the other directors, and so then it's like you're with coworkers and then we're like going swimming and stuff, and it's like I don't know, like this is like so weird, like I'm in like a bathing suit and I don't know how I feel about this. And like it's true, like I feel like no matter what size you are, on some level you think about that. You think about, what does that person think about me, what is that person like talking about that other person about? Are they talking about me? Are they talking about like the way that I look or something, like a flaw that I have? And so like for me, I think it's really hard not to compare to other people and know like, okay, well, like that person, like she looks really good. Like she works out. She has like a great body. She's got beautiful hair. It's really hard to not compare that way.
Right.
But I think like just remembering like, one, we all have flaws. Yeah. So regardless of whether or not we see them or we see them as flaws, everybody has something that they don't like about themselves. Yeah. Right. I think that's just the reality. And two, knowing that like the Lord created us and that like regardless of how I feel about myself, I know that he looks at me and he calls me beautiful and he calls me chosen, he calls me like worthy, he calls me holy. And so like just like remembering those like little things. And it sounds like so silly because it's like people tell you that all the time. It's like, oh, but you're so beautiful. You're made in the image of God. And sometimes I'm like, shut the heck up. Yeah, like, I don't want to hear that right now. Yeah. I just want to feel bad about myself.
Right. Yeah.
But it's like, I mean, it's true. You're made in the image of the Creator. And, we should treat our body as like the temple and we should take care of ourselves. But like, are we doing the things that we enjoy doing regardless of how we look or what people think we look like, or an image that we're comparing ourselves to that we're not even meant to compare ourselves to? Are we going out and doing those things, or are we letting like stuff like that hold us back from that? So
I remember somebody saying once, like, we're making fun of ourselves, and they're just like, that. It's like slapping God in the face.
right.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's things that I know I can change, you know, and that's up to me. But like, if, like, you know, like I've had friends who would like make fun of people because of the way their teeth were, or like they smiled, they had too much gum in their smile, like, you know, like just like you can't change that
Things you
over
can't
time.
control.
Like, what?
Exactly.
Why are we making fun of people because of something they can't really do anything about? Like, it's
Right.
just not.
Yeah.
It's not cool. Like, it's just, and it's super unkind.
Right.
Like, it's just like, yeah. So like, I've had to learn to, like, you know, kind of honor God and love Him by just not, you know, making fun of myself and beating myself up. You know? And so it's still a process. Like, it's a constant, you know, and hopefully I can I'm trying to go through some inner healing to help with that too. That's really good to do. So what was that? I should have looked up the scripture reference, but we are His masterpiece. And I remember hearing that the first time, and I was like, what? And I was like, a master, wow. Like, He's painted, like, imagine something God would paint. Like, it has to be like the most beautiful thing.
Right.
You know, if I've always thought, what would God sound like if He was singing? You know, like, it would be like most, you know, I think it'd be like 10 voices in one, you know, but like, but He created us, you know, like, and so it's like, I don't want to dishonor Him, you know, and that's where that other, you know, the love God, respect yourself thing also comes into play. Like,
Right.
so.
Yeah, because I feel like there's a lot of, like, and I don't know if anybody else can relate to this, but I've shared this with Giselle, I think, where, like, I spent most of my life being told, like, this is how you dress as a girl. Like, if you dress outside of this, like, you're going to cause other people to sin, and then that's going to be your fault. And then, like, that's a sin. And, like, just all of this, like, shame and guilt for wanting to dress a certain way.
Right.
And so then, like, then I went to college, and then it was like, all right, well, my parents aren't here, so I'm going to dress however I want. I had a boyfriend that really wanted me to dress a certain way. And so, and then even he was really controlling. And then so after breaking up with him, it was like, okay, well, I'm going to go out and I'm going to do whatever I want. Like, this is just like, there's like no boundaries at all. We're just going to totally lose control. I didn't care what people thought of me. I didn't care what guys thought of me when they looked at me. I wanted that attention.
Right.
I wanted people to pay attention to me. And then, like, there was just like, I just had this like epiphany, or like, I guess like this like revelation with the Lord. We just had this moment of like, it's respectful to yourself to dress a certain way.
Yeah.
It's not because like you're causing someone to stumble or necessarily, because yes, that person does have control over their own self.
Absolutely.
But then you also have control over how you put yourself out there, how people see you, how you carry yourself. And are you carrying yourself and shining yourself in a good light, or are you carrying yourself and shining yourself in a light that is like disrespectful to how God created you?
Yeah.
And so we've had some discussion about like bathing suit choices and stuff like that, and just clothing choices. And there are just some choices that like we personally make that is kind of like, especially when we're with our guy friends, where it's like just understanding and respecting like your like understanding and respecting them, and knowing like, okay, this person is not my husband, they should not see me a certain way,
Right.
Yeah.
but then also knowing, okay, well, I respect myself enough to know that I don't need to dress like that to have fun. I don't need to dress like that to get attention from people. That like the people, I really like what you said when you said, when you're with people that see you for who you really are, it makes it so much easier to be confident in who you are and to like dress the way that you want to dress, is because you're not dressing to get anyone's attention.
Right.
You have their attention because of who you are.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good thoughts. Okay.
Yeah, I grew up like the same way, like with like really strict rules of like how you should dress as a girl, you know. And I feel like it didn't really like affect me that much because my mom like set a pretty good example to me, like how a woman should be like represent herself. But I totally understand how that can be like a really big temptation for people to just like break, like kind of like rebel against that.
Right.
And it's like, well, you can't tell me what to do, like how to like dress or
Yeah,
what
it's
to do with my body.
My body,
Yeah,
my choice.
exactly. So, especially, yeah, like if you're in a relationship with someone who's like controlling and wanting you to dress a certain way instead of like letting you make that choice for yourself. So, yeah, it's just like learning how to respect yourself. And because God wants us to respect ourselves, you know, He doesn't want us to just like put ourselves out there,
like for everyone to see.
It
you know?
should be like that's like so intimate because like yeah, your husband should be the only person to see you that way, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
You should be able to have fun too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, and I mean,
there
that's
should
the
be
thing, like,
freedom in that, and not, it shouldn't be like a weight or like a chain.
Yeah.
It should be like a freedom, like an opportunity to express yourself.
Right.
And that's something I really admire about you is like what you said earlier about those other Instagram models. They like to show off their bodies and stuff. I feel like a lot of people do that to cover up their insecurities.
Right.
Yeah.
But you don't feel the need to do that because you're like secure. Like I know you said that you have your insecurities, but like you respect yourself enough to not do that.
Right.
Yeah.
You know? I think that's really cool.
Thanks. I think I'd rather people know like me rather than see me.
Right.
You know, and I don't really want to be seen sometimes. You know, I'm just like, no. And that's the thing. Like you see these people and like, and half the time they're like in poses where they look skinny. You ever see those like those little pictures like this is how it looks, but then this is reality. And then they got their little rolls. I'm like, oh, I don't feel so bad.
Instagram versus reality.
Yes, exactly.
You liars.
We're calling you out.
But thank you for showing your real self.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, I think that's really cool. I was gonna say something and now I can't. I didn't bring my notebook today.
Oh.
Sorry, guys.
I have a lot of journals, but they're all kind of packed up still. Between my room and my office and everything's just okay. So
I feel that. Oh man, I was gonna say something and that really bothers me that I can't remember what I was gonna say. That happens a lot.
Sorry.
That's okay. No, it's ADHD. It was you didn't. It was my fault.
Or there's something to do with like respecting yourself and like dressing a certain way.
No,
Instagrammers.
it was about the Instagram models. When you said the thing about they're covering up their insecurities, I think it's just so interesting because I think a lot of times when we do stuff like that, we're like covering up our insecurities, but I think it's like a desire to be seen and known.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that too. Oh yeah.
And so it's like this is gonna sound weird, but it's like it's that thought of the more clothes I take off, the more I am seen. Therefore, the more I am known.
Yeah.
And the more people will know me and they'll understand me for who I truly am. And the reality is that that's an empty promise and that's an empty thought and it's a lie from Satan. And that we don't need, our bodies aren't what give us value.
Yeah.
They're not what give us like purpose or like anointing or anything like that. It's literally just like the vessel that like you use to walk around, you know, and interact with people. It's really nothing more than that. And I think like people who put themselves out there, like they're hiding from their insecurities and their desire is to be seen and deeply known.
Yeah. And I just like that really just breaks my heart because it's like, that desire is fulfilled by God.
Right.
Like, being seen and known by God is so it's so
it's so much more fulfilling
to
to be seen and known by him. than it is to be seen or known by other people,
Yeah,
especially people
absolutely.
on the internet. Like
Yeah.
people on the internet are so, people in general are fickle.
Yeah.
That's just a reality. But people on the internet are just, a lot of people on the internet are very cowardice. And so they'll say mean things or they'll say certain things. And so to desire acceptance from those people it's an empty path and it's an empty road. So
Yeah. No, and his love is so consistent and just always
Yeah.
being
Right.
known by him.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's awesome.
I'm really happy you're here.
I know. It's so funny because I literally was thinking about this week, and it was so weird because like I don't know. It's just like, it's so silly because you don't ever think about it when you're around certain people. Like when I'm around you guys, I don't ever think about it. Like I don't ever think about what do people think about me,
Yeah.
or but I think when you're around certain people, and I think what you had said about how you had certain friends who would make certain comments about people, I think when you know that certain people make comments like that to other people, you just assume that everybody else
Yes.
also makes comments like that to
Yeah.
other
Yes.
people. So then
Oh,
you
yeah.
just automatically assume
Yeah.
that person who looked at me and is now whispering is talking about like
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
insecurity.
And it's been since I was a kid.
Right.
Even. And I mean, even when I was in kindergarten, I was a normal sized child in kindergarten. I had this girl next to me. I won't say her name. And she wouldn't watch this anyway.
For the safety,
She won't even be
of
friends with me on
those.
Facebook, so whatever.
I bet her name is like Stacy or something.
Close.
Gosh, Stacy.
Close. It's one of those names.
Like Shelby. Like Stacy or Shelby or something.
It's one of those 90s cool names, you know? Anyways, yeah, no. She looked at me and she goes, "You have fat legs." And I was like, why would you say that in kindergarten? Like,
Yeah.
I distinctly
Kids
remember
are
that.
mean.
They're mean.
They
Yeah,
are.
I'm like, we're the same size.
Kids are so funny
What's
though.
wrong with
It's
you?
like you want to feel really good about yourself, be around a kid, but also be warned because you may end up feeling really bad about yourself at the
It's so,
same
oh my goodness,
time.
it's so true.
You want to know what your insecurities are? Spend 5 minutes with a 5-year-old.
It's true.
Okay, just spend
It's
5
true.
minutes with a 5-year-old. They'll
Yeah.
point all of them out
Yep.
for you.
Yeah, they like. So I have like little chubby upper arms, and they'll like poke at it. I'm just like, what?
my God.
Why? I'm like, oh gosh. Now I feel. Or they're like, sorry, I'll put this out there. I had this one kid. And he's just like, "You're so big," and he's like, "I meant like tall." Like, I was like, that wasn't very nice. He's like, "That's not what I meant." I was like, it's okay. I still love you. He's just a kid. Like, you know, I'm not gonna like.
It's like no
You're mean.
filter.
Yeah, they
It's
don't
so
have a
funny.
filter. And I'm like, yeah, I'm a big person, whatever. Another one, like, I can't put my arms all around you. And I'm like, it's fine. I just,
No.
it can be embarrassing, but at the same time, like, they still, the thing is, they don't care because they genuinely, if they
Yeah.
care about you, they love you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And this kid is just, we just had the greatest relationship, you know, like,
That's right.
so it's just like, I don't care. Like, he's a kid. Like, he's just stating the obvious,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm like, the Lord still loves me. This kid still loves me. Like, just
Yeah.
because he can't put his arms around me like normal doesn't mean I'm less of a person,
Yeah.
you know, and that's, I try, you know, anyway, so like just growing up with compliments and just people always making fun of me growing up, and that, just that snicker, that, you know, the laughter or the whisper, and
Yeah.
it's just like, it's about, I'm still like that,
Yeah.
you know, but like I have to, I just got to ignore it. And I know I have to keep reminding myself like who I belong to
Yeah.
and who loves me. And like my friends don't do that. Like real friends won't do that.
Right.
And so it's just, yeah, it's hard, but you know, I'm glad, I know I'm not the only one. I know
Yeah.
it is refreshing to know there's people like who are smaller than me still have the same
Yeah.
insecurity. I'm like, it's not just me.
Yeah.
You know, just-
No, it's like
Every
like
one of us.
literally all of us. And for a long time for
Yeah.
me, and this is maybe like on the total opposite side of the scale, for a really long time for me, it was
Being too skinny.
you're too thin.
Yes.
And it was
me too.
it was from my family would tell me that I would come home from college and I was under a significant amount of stress with school, and so like my eating patterns were a little off, and so I had dropped some weight. And so it wasn't intentional.
Right.
It was not like an intentional thing for me. But then it was like my family was like, oh my gosh, you're losing so much weight. You're so thin. Like you look sick. And they're telling me all of these really negative things in connotation to the fact that I'm skinny.
Yeah.
And I have no control over the weight of my body because I just
Stress.
wasn't, I was just stressed. And then on top of that, I was in a relationship with someone who was like, oh my gosh, like you're not eating, and was just like super obsessive over that. Even though like I had felt like I had started to get back to a better place, or I was trying to get back to a better place. And then it was constantly him like, you know, you need to like gain a few pounds, or you need to lose a few pounds, or you need to look like this, or, you know, like, I'm so glad you look like this versus looking like this. And I don't ever want you to look like this. And compare me to other people. And it was like, it was just like super healthy and just super toxic. And,
I was the same way, because I was I've been really skinny pretty much like my entire life. And I remember this one time in high school, there's this girl, and somehow we like got on a topic about like our like pant size, and she like shared hers, and I said mine, and at the time I wore zeros, and she was like, oh my gosh, like you're so skinny, go eat a burger or something. I'm like,
my mom
what?
My mom would tell me that on a weekly basis in high school. She would tell me, you're so skinny, you need to eat a hamburger. Like you need to, and she would literally feed me like so much, because they were trying to, but it wasn't like, there was literally nothing I could do. Like I would eat full meals, and you know, it was like,
I told her, I was like, I probably eat more than you. I can't gain weight. Like, for the longest time, I stayed 95 pounds like throughout high school, because I could not gain weight. Like no matter how much I ate, my metabolism was just really fast.
Hyperactive,
but like, and now I've put on a lot more weight since then, and now I'm getting comments like, you're getting fat, like I'm like,
so it's like there's never
a happy,
you can please anybody, like everybody. So I've come to the point where like I don't care. It really does not bother me anymore, because I know I take care of myself. I eat I
balance meals.
And I work out,
exercise regularly.
So I myself, and I'm really happy with the way I look. And now I'm just like, I'm so glad that I'm at a place where I'm really content with how I am, like how I look, and like who I am. Cause like now, and maybe like 2 years ago, comments like that would just tear me apart. But like now it's like, it doesn't even get to me anymore.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where it's like, the reality is you'll never be enough for other people. And that's just like, people will always have something that they want to say, something that you don't meet their expectation of. You will never be enough for other people, but you will always be enough for God.
Absolutely.
So work to please Him in everything that you do, and how you carry yourself versus pleasing other people.
Absolutely. You guys are better at this than I am. I've been doing it a long time.
Okay, so if you had one really specific piece of advice for someone out there who is potentially listening, who maybe struggles with this, because I feel like women all across the board struggle with this. Just every day, comparing yourself to other people, especially now with how fast-paced everything is, and how everything is like so like bright and in your face, and social media, and people are constantly posting about their lives, and you know, their relationships, and all kinds of fun stuff. If you had one piece of specific advice you could give to someone who is just like really struggling with this, what do you feel like that would be?
Have good friends that you can confide in.
I
didn't for a while. Like there was a long time until I came to Revive for that 3-month period. And I literally gained like a bunch of friends that I could be completely honest with. And it has helped a lot, you know, because I'm not alone in this. And I feel like that has helped the most. And especially if, obviously, I'm a Christian. They should be Christians. It's a lot easier that way. But just having someone you can confide in, you know, even if you're married, somebody else, like a female friend or a same gender friend, I think is good. You know, like just be like, I'm feeling like this today. I'm really struggling with this. And I've been blessed with a great friend or two recently. And it's just like 3 of my friends, actually last night, I texted him. I was like, I've been like, I lost a kid that I mentored. He was 22. He died about a week ago. And suddenly, and I've been just in this like emotional, like, you know, and I've just been really beating just emotionally like sad. And I just texted him last night. They didn't have to respond, you know, like it's just, I just wanted them to pray for me. Like making sure you have really strong relationships with people that you can confide in. That is the best thing, you know, and journaling. It does help.
And that's the plug for the week. You're welcome.
It does help. I remember I write letters to God, you know, and that's how I journal the best. Like I would do like the Jesus Calling book, and I'd write out the scriptures, and then I just start writing to God. And sometimes it was like angry. Yeah. I've written some really angry, it's huge scribbles in a little journal, you know, and you were using words I shouldn't use, but like, it's just so angry. Like, I'm just so angry. Like, this is how I feel about myself, and I'm tired of feeling like this. Yeah. It's really healthy, you know, like, and getting that out of your system and just letting it be at his feet and, you know, trying not to pick it back up, but just leaving it there. That's super helpful, you know. So that's my 2, you know, best friends and journaling it to Jesus, you know. You know. And
that's good.
That's awesome.
So that's my best,
that is really good. I feel like friendships have really helped me with that too, with insecurities like that, because just knowing that people love me for who I am and nothing to do with how I look. Right. And it's like, it's just really helpful with dealing with insecurities in general.
Yeah. I think things really changed for me when I started having healthy relationships with people. Yeah. Because I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't trying to get people's attention. Who I was what made people want to be around me. Yeah. Not the way that I looked, not the way that I dressed. It was genuinely who I was and how I acted, you know. So, and they stuck around. So that's always a huge plus. So
I'm so grateful for my friends.
That's awesome.
Like, it's just been like, I haven't had friends like this before. Like, I've had some good friends, but like, just in the last 3, 4, 6 months now, just like, I've cried over it a lot in the last few weeks. Just like, how do I deserve friends like this? Like, I can go over to anybody's house whenever I want. And that's just like, I didn't have that before. Yeah. And so I'm not, you know, I used to go home and be like, I have no friends. You know, be like, it was really hard. Like, there was a long that before. I really don't feel alone. I feel like we've just bonded over this.
So awesome.
And we've just, and then so it's a beautiful thing.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. And now I just even becoming friends with people on staff, you know, it's just like, oh, wow, you're really awesome. Like, this is great. You know, like, so.
I'm really happy that you finally found friends like who love you like that. Yeah. That's everybody deserves friends like that.
Giselle cries over that sometimes.
It's okay. You're not alone.
It's like, it's kind of like a sensitive topic. Because I've longed for friendships like I have now for so long, and just thinking about how God has blessed me with these amazing people just makes me really emotional, because I think about how lonely I used to feel, and like just not having friends and somebody who I can just always go to for anything, aside from Kyron, obviously. But like now it's like, it makes me cry just thinking about how God has blessed me with amazing people. So I'm really happy that you have that.
Yeah. And even if like I didn't stick around at Revive, I thought that was gonna be like really cool, that I was still gonna have friends.
Yeah.
Like that was the biggest thing that came out of that, because we're just like, why does the Lord have you here other than, you know, just filling in? And I'm like, there's something else we knew. And I was just like, maybe it's just the friends. And that's probably the biggest thing, you know, including you guys, like just, you know, getting to know you and those, you know, just, it wasn't very much, but I got to know you a little bit. And, and then he's just like, I'm gonna keep you there. Okay, cool.
I think that's like one thing that like I have like also. So before I went to Revive, I was going to school in Lakeland, and so I would come home for the summers or for Christmas or whatever. And so my family would go to Revive when I was home, but they weren't regular attenders. I wasn't really plugged in anywhere. And then when I had decided to move back, I really felt the Lord was asking me to stay when I had come back for the summer a couple years ago. And that was really hard for me because I had such a deep connection and relationship with people at my school. And, but that I really do genuinely believe that if nothing else, that is the main reason why he had me stay home, was because I never would have met Giselle and Andrew and Kyron if I'm not trying to make you cry. Stop. I never would have met them if I hadn't decided to stay home. And there were so many parts of my heart that were broken that needed to be healed by those relationships.
Yeah.
And I never would have found that healing, and I never would have found that had I not stayed home, had I not met Melissa, had I not met Mike, had I not, met you or the people at anybody really at Revive. And so like, I really do genuinely believe that even if just for that reason, to give up everything that I had, it was all worth it to be able to like have that and have relationships. So
Absolutely. That's so cool.
I love you guys a lot.
I love you too.
Oh, it's turned into a really mushy episode.
Right. I thought I was the one that was going to cry, and it's over. I'm like, okay.
And then Giselle cries every episode.
I don't want to talk about it.
I did cry before an episode once, so there's that. Oh, man. Anyways. All right.
Is there anything else you'd like to share before we close?
I don't know. I'm just glad to be here.
We're so glad to have you. Oh, my gosh.
I was really nervous. Like, I was like, hope I'm not going to be boring.
No.
And
That's okay. You can't be as boring as Andrew's episodes.
Right?
It's fine.
It's so boring. It's the driest.
More reason to rip on Andrew.
She literally makes.
I literally make fun of him every episode.
Oh my goodness gracious. I thought I had to keep my laughter down because the people that I live with are like in the room next to me, and I'm like watching on my phone, trying so hard not to laugh out loud. I'm like, why am I watching this late at night? This is a horrible idea. This is Andrew we're talking about.
No, that's a wonderful idea. Please watch us late at night. It's actually the best time to tolerate us, so thank you.
Oh my word.
Oh my goodness. I love that.
Even Liam like surprised me, like
He
how.
was so
I mean, I always
funny.
thought. I told him I was like, dude, I watched your thing today, and I'm like, I always thought you were funny, but dude, you're hilarious.
He is so
It was
funny.
so good.
I don't think we've ever laughed that hard ever. I was like snotting everywhere.
Yes.
I was like, please stop. I was like, no, I can't take it anymore, please.
So
now I have
good.
tissues every episode just in case.
Good.
Because,
This week is for crying, for running noises.
Oh, man. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we've come to that part of the episode where we really like to encourage our guests.
Farewell.
I'll be to say adieu.
You can go first because
No,
I went
because-
first last time.
No, but I go first every other time.
I went first last time.
Whatever. I roll.
Alicia.
Okay, first of all,
time.
I just want to say how much of like a baller you are.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know this. Okay,
What?
I didn't know this. I'm going to share this with all
Is
the
it the
people.
drumming?
Yes.
Oh my god!
Okay, no, guys, listen. As a child, I listened to Skillet. And
Yeah.
Skillet
Yes.
has a female drummer.
Yes,
and
they
I
do.
always wanted to be her. And you know what she sings and she
And
drums.
plays at the same
Do you know that Alicia sings and plays
Oh
drums at the
my
same
gosh.
time? She is literally everything I wanted to be as a child. Like growing up as like a little 12-year-old, I was like, I just want to play the drums and sing. Like that is like Alicia. She's like such a baller. Like,
Yeah, I went into New Hope's
Oh, geez.
Facebook page, and I watched one of the videos, and I knew you played drums, but I didn't know you sang and played drums at the same time. I was like, dude, you look so sick.
I think Jesse's wife had shared that with me one week. We were in kids church together, and she told me that, and I was like, what? I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. So
That's so
so
cool.
number one, you're a freaking baller. So just know that.
Thanks.
And number two, I just think it's really awesome to see just how much joy you always have when you're with people. I just love watching you when you're like at church and you just like loving on people and like you're just so genuine in everything that you do, and it comes through when you're on stage and you're leading worship.
Yeah.
But it's not like you're on stage and you're leading worship and it's like this maybe like fake genuineness.
Yeah.
Not saying necessarily that anybody has
Yeah.
that, but then it's like you are the same on stage as you are off
Yeah.
stage. And I think that speaks volumes to who you are as a person, because I don't feel like everyone can be that way. I feel like on some level people,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh yeah.
they act or whatever, you know.
Right.
But you're just like so open, people coming up to you after and you like wanting to talk to people, and I just think that's really awesome. So
Thank you. How do you respond to that? I know people are like, blah, blah, blah. Thank you. That's all I can say. I don't know what
That's
to say.
literally me when I accept compliments, except I stand there like a Lego man and I'm like, thank you.
I just smile and nod. Thank you.
Mom,
thank you.
Have you seen that video? It's like a meme, isn't it?
Yes, it's a
It's like a picture of a little kid. He's like this. And he's like,
Mom, I just threw up.
It's like me coming into my mom's room at 2 a.m. after I threw up. Oh my gosh.
I just snorted.
Oh man.
Okay. Alicia, I love the way you lead. Yeah. That's it.
And scene.
No, like what she was saying, like the way that you are the same on stage and off stage. I just admire like what?
Brain glitch. Sounds like malfunctioning over here. She's going from like heavy sobbing, crying to like cry laughing. There's not really an in between of emotions for her.
Don't know how to have emotions.
A little side note: have you ever seen this?
Is it another meme?
This guy.
Insert meme here.
This guy, he said, "I just don't understand weather." I just don't understand how the weather works, because how is it that yesterday the high was 68, but today the low is when I cried in front of that waitress and IHOP?
What?
It's a TikTok video, isn't it?
Okay, anyway, sorry.
I don't do TikTok. I'm behind on the
We'll
cool
insert the
things.
video at the end of this podcast episode. You can watch it and laugh.
Okay, anyway.
Oh man.
Yeah. Whenever you're up there, like, you're just worshiping God. You're not caring about what anybody else is saying or thinking. It's like your genuine, like, connection with God shows through with the way that you lead. And I just think that's really cool.
Thank you.
I love
Thank
that.
you.
And you're just a really awesome person.
She's like a total
Try.
freaking baller, bro. She plays the drums and she sings. How many of you can say that? None. Anyway.
Somebody a few weeks ago, before I started, Jesse couldn't show up to practice. So Andrew goes, "Can you just fill in on drums?" And I was like, "Okay," because I've been playing for years. I'm kind of like over it. And so I get back there, and then my friend Carrie, I guess, saw me playing. She goes, "Can you just do like one Sunday where you're on the drums?"
Oh my
I'm like
God.
leading.
I might not lead, but I will see. But like, I
That
was
would
like,
be so cool.
just
I want to
stay
see that in
tuned.
person.
We
Singing and playing at the same time.
when I went to Southeastern, we had one of the girls or one of the drummers for SU worship was a girl, and she was far better than any of the guys. Like it was like you knew it was going to be a holy worship set when you looked over and it was like the girl drum player.
Oh,
It was like, yeah, like we're getting into it tonight. Like, come on, sis. Like, get after it.
Right. One time we were on. Sorry, I don't want to keep going, but
No, you're
and waste
good.
time. But we were on tour. Like our Bible college would go on tour during spring break. Well, there was 2 drummers, and we were girls.
Yeah.
So we're at this one church, and this one guy was like, I guess he had apparently was very open about what he thought. And he goes, "Oh, there's just 2 girl drummers. Gonna be really good." And I was like,
dare you.
"Just what?" And apparently he's like, "Yeah, they changed my mind on that one."
Yeah.
And this other girl, like, she killed it. Like, she's so good.
gosh.
And oh man, because I knew her when she was high school, and then like she came to college, and it was just like
That's really cool.
And so like we're just like, yep,
Dang.
yeah. And we had one guy playing, but like he's good, but like it was just like
It's not as good.
as
Not as good as the girls. That's what I'm saying.
It's just something different. I
I've
don't
never
know.
heard a drummer better than a girl drummer. Changed my mind.
Girl drummers are great. They're rare. I think rare on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The world
Few and
can't
far
handle it.
between. No.
I don't
can't.
see. You don't see him. I mean,
It's
you
just
don't
too
see
much
him.
talent.
You don't see him in like regular, like in like the regular music industry,
Yeah.
let alone like the Christian
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
realm. And so
That's true.
it'd be cool if I became a famous girl drummer, which I won't.
That would be
Do it.
awesome. I can see it.
Do it.
I mean, I
see
wouldn't
it.
mind. That'd be fun.
Everybody, please blow up Alicia's Instagram page, okay? And just comment "female drummer" under all of her pictures. Also, you can comment #female drummer under this episode and under our post for this episode on our Instagram page. Thank you.
The title of this episode will be "Female Drummer."
Yeah, no, do that. It'll be totally misleading to everything we talk about today.
Absolutely.
They'll have to get to the very end. #clickbait.
I'd like to fill in on drums at like Upper Room or something, just like randomly. That'd be
gosh,
cool.
that would be so
Just like,
awesome.
oh, what's that?
I'd like to just go to Upper Room.
Yeah.
Same.
And just like sit and yeah. Anyway,
They're wild.
they're really cool.
I mean, Bethel's wild, but like Upper Room's like
They're
wild.
Yeah.
they're like yeah, they're like next level.
I like wild.
Yeah. Anyways, I clipped the mic. Anyways, all right. That is it for this episode. We are so appreciative of you guys. And what are you doing? Oh, 4 minutes.
Okay, good.
We're so appreciative of you guys and all the feedback that you've given us. And we really do love you guys. And we're sorry that we took a week break. But we're back now.
We're back.
So you can expect us this week. You can, I guess, maybe expect us next week. We're really not sure
Yeah.
yet. We're going week by week. We'll let you know.
I'll
Anyway.
come back next week. We can talk about
Yeah,
something else.
hey. You just keep Alicia as a regular guest.
I'm okay with that. I could talk every week.
But yeah, so what was I going to say? Oh, if you follow us on Instagram, then you will know exactly when we're posting new episodes and when we're not
Yes.
posting new episodes. So if you go on over to our link to our Instagram, go ahead and click follow, and then you'll be in the know for everything that goes on.
That's how I knew.
And
Yeah.
Exactly.
There you
See,
go,
there you
guys.
go.
Be like
The-
Alicia.
The more you know. See, and first step is following us on Instagram, knowing everything, and then the second step is being as cool as Alicia. So,
I mean,
there
you
you
probably
go.
won't be able to do that.
It's like a 2-in-1. Well, you'll never be a female drummer unless you are actually a female drummer. So it's just a reality. Sorry. Anyway, we're going to close out. We love you guys. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
But you stole mine.
That's mine every week.